In this video, I'll walk you through the exact steps to easily secure your provincial attestation letter for studying in Canada. No stress involved. So let's get started. Attention international students. Here are the important updates that you must know that are effective from September 1, 2024. If you are starting a program under a curriculum licensing arrangement, you will not be eligible for a PGWP. These programs are typically at private colleges licensed to deliver curriculum from public colleges and have recently attracted many international students. So be very careful before you choose the DLI to study in. Master's degree graduates are eligible to apply for a 3-year PGWP. Previously, they could only get a PGWP to match the duration of their course. And only spouses of master's or doctor's students can qualify for the spousal open work permit. So be very careful when you are planning to bring your spouse here to Canada with you. The student GIC requirement has increased to 20,635, as many of you know, and this change happened on the 1st of January 2024. And lastly, the provincial attestation letters, also called PAL, is now a mandatory requirement for study permit applications. Now, how to get your provincial attestation letter if you are studying in an institution that is outside of Quebec? The institution or the DLI that is giving you the admission will also give you the provincial attestation letter. Usually, after you accept your offer and pay the tuition deposit, they will have the provincial attestation letter available in your student portal, or they may email it to you depending on the institution. Submit your provincial attestation letter with the study permit application and not after you submit the study permit application. Now, if you're looking to study in Quebec, it's necessary to have a Quebec acceptance certificate. The Quebec government provides this. You should reach out to your educational institution for guidance on the CAC application process. Now, for your CAC to act as your provincial attestation letter, it needs to include the following line. This attestation letter confirms that the applicant has a place in Quebec's share of the distribution of study permit applications or is exempt from it. And like I said before, please include your provincial attestation letter when you submit your application and not afterwards. Ensure you submit a PAL even if you're applying for a prerequisite course such as a language course or a program. Each study permit applicant must submit a PAL even if you are applying as a family and submitting your application together. Now, once you get a PAL, how long is it valid for? Your PAL must be valid at the time you submit your application. If your PAL does not have an expiry date, it remains valid until January 21, 2025. If it's still valid, you may reuse the same PAL to resubmit a study permit application. Now, there are some people who are exempt from needing a provincial attestation letter, and it's important for you to know if you qualify under any of these. So pay attention. If you're applying for preschool to grade 12, you don't need a PAL. If you're applying for master's or doctoral programs, if you're already in Canada, you're holding and extending a study permit, holding a work permit, a visiting or exchange student at a DLI, you completed prerequisite studies for DLI enrollment, you're under a removal order but not removable from Canada, holding a temporary resident permit TRP for at least 6 months, or if you are a protected person. And the list continues. These people are also exempt from needing a PAL if you are eligible for permanent residence on humanitarian and compassionate grounds, or under a current public policy, or as a spouse or common law partner via in Canada class. You are exempt from needing a PAL. So here is a final recap of important points, so please pay attention. The provincial attestation letter is now a mandatory requirement to apply for study permits. PAL is given by the DLI that's offering you admission. So you will have to reach out to them once you accept your offer and once you have paid the tuition deposit. Remember to include the mandatory line to use in your CAQ, to use the CAQ as the attestation letter for Quebec. Submit your PAL along with the study permit application and not afterwards. And every applicant needs their own PAL even if you are applying as a family.